To me, web series is a term of empowerment. To me, it means that any person can create a narrative that they believe in and they can execute it to the best of their abilities and share it with anyone in the entire world.
I think it's going to be really good.
Good evening and welcome to the internet. I'm David M. Green and you're watching Inside Web Series, the series where we look inside web series. We'll be talking to some producers, some professionals, some unprofessionals about all things web series and see some actual clips of web series. But what is a web series? Webster's Dictionary defines web series as... not actually in there. Well, let's ask this guy.
What is a web series? It is programming made specifically for the web, for the internet.
A web series is basically like a television show only on the internet.
Theoretically, it's a TV series for web, right?
The web series is a TV series devised for the web.
So it's not a new way of storytelling, it's just a new way of delivering to your audience.
A web series is honestly something that is, in my definition, bite-sized, to the point. It could be a comedy, a drama, it could be a sketch. It takes on numerous forms. Often it's been described as sort of a mini television show, but I think it's grown to become its own medium.
I go by Jay. CC is my bestie. My job is dumb. Sell pills to fatties. I hate this shit. I am not happy. So I write rhymes. Word to your daddy.
So I just describe it as the new wave of television.
What was that?
It gives indie producers, like myself, the possibility to show it to the audience without undergoing a selection process of a TV channel or a distribution company. And the short running time makes its production possible without a big budget.
You can go watch The Office on the web. That's not a web series. That's a television series you can watch on the web. A web series, what makes it a web series is this is something that was made just for the internet. And normally, in most cases, like 95% of the time, these shows, they're short. That's what makes them unique to the web.
That's what people want. People want to see things that are shorter, that are quick, that are kind of bite-sized, so that they can just, sit down, even watch it on an iPhone or whatever.
Its main platform for distribution is online, and it's something that has a regular release pattern. So we really liked the idea of releasing once a week, same time every week. We really didn't want to kind of take our audience for granted. We wanted to tell them, this is a legit thing we're going to do. We're going to do 16 of these little episodes, and you're going to see it every Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
I started making films in the 80s, and in the 80s you could have gotten a well-produced genre film with no stars on a movie screen. Well, that's changed. When I was producing films in the 90s, you could have gotten a well-made genre film with no stars on cable, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and we did, and that's changed. In 2000, there were 100,000 video stores across the country, and that was 100,000 opportunities to be able to sell somebody a DVD or a video cassette. Well, today, all those stores are gone. So what did that leave you with? No cable, no TV. It left the web. So we got into the web producing business.
So there you go. A normal evening. Except the norm isn't the norm in my family.
It's called The Spot, and it's the first interactive episodic series on the worldwide system of connected computers known as the Internet.
Scott Zakarin created the first web series in 1995. Let's talk to Scott.
So back in 1995, we created The Spot with a couple of my associates who were, we were all like pioneers. We were young and we thought, okay, let's try and break into Hollywood somehow that will get some attention. So we created a show that was sort of an interactive storytelling, kind of like a soap opera where you follow each one of the characters, you read their journal entries. We had some video at the time to help support the story.
We are able to put things out there that television never could. You can get inside our characters' souls.
Fresh entries for the addict.
You can then turn around and email a character and give them advice they'll write back to you, and then you can find out that you affected the story.
I didn't know anything about web series when I first started. I'd never seen a web series. I hadn't even heard about the concept of a web series. It wasn't until, we started filming and then getting into the whole sphere of releasing and hearing back from viewers that I really understood the objective of a web series, and that is to create these bite-sized bits of content for today's viewer. Listen, buddy, don't ruin it, okay? I've nearly got this fish reeled in. Don't ruin it.
Web series differ because you have a lot more creative freedom.
I think what strikes me about web series and what makes them so different than film or television is that there isn't a set format.
There's not really a format. There's no designated format. Everybody calls it the Wild West. And it truly is.
With TV, there were just limits on people's attention spans, and you have to work in the commercials, and there's all these guidelines that kind of naturally form just based on the medium. But what's cool about web series, and specifically since they're on the internet, is it's very freeform.
Working on a web series is amazing because there's so much freedom in it. You can pretty much, creatively have all the control you want. You can do crazy stories. You can do crazy things technically, given the resources.
The good thing about creating a series is as soon as you have set up the mood, the concept, you can keep on going like forever.
Report from Sub 1, day 964.
It's interesting because I don't think we ever actually set out to do anything specifically for the internet.
Dead Grandma! I got a grandma, how about you?
What happened was we wanted to make a TV show, and there weren't any network executives knocking at my door asking me if I had any concepts to pitch or pilots to show them, so we did the next best thing, and that was make something ourselves and present it to an audience that was available to us, which was the internet.
Your dreams come true, Dead Grandma.
I made my web series quite simply because Cartoon Network was not knocking at my door, but we live in a wonderful time with the internet, and it's possible to distribute yourself online. And so you don't need to sit and wait and hope that one day Fox Animation calls. You can do it on your own.
Produce some of your own work. Plays, short films, maybe even a web series.
I think people want to make web series because you can. I mean, the technology's there. Cameras are super cheap. Everybody pretty much has access to the internet and a computer and can log on to YouTube and make an account.
Oh, no, seriously, we could have like a kooky theme song. We could have a subtle background plot that develops over the season. Yeah, and have like a small but talented like support cast. And like tons of like song and dance numbers. No, that's ridiculous.
I started making web series for a few reasons. First, I'd always wanted to make films, and I was lucky enough to come along in a period in time when the technology had advanced to a point where we could make something that looked like film for a relatively low budget.
And it was worth it.
Yeah, that's the greatest thing about web series. Anyone can make them, and with the technology that's available today, it's really easy too.
The good news is, too, equipment is getting more affordable. Anyone can get a decent camera. Microphone kits are getting, less expensive. Lighting kits are getting less expensive. So the important thing is to have a great editor and a great lighting person and sound person, a great director, and ultimately, great material.
The New York City phone book lists 22 Tyler Hansons. Of course, only one of us got drunk at a Halloween party, put on a wig, and bedazzled the screen door with candy corn. And thus, Carol Ann McCracken was born and my television career began. Now, you probably wouldn't recognize me because I'm a typical guy.
You can release it week on week, and with the modern day audience, people have got shorter attention spans. And a web series allows the consumer to be, or to have the choice about when they want to digest the content. They can log on at work, combat the Monday blues, or they can log on a Saturday evening when they come home from the pub. Just try it again. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again.
I guess people like to be able to relate to something. They know what TV is. They know what film is, But web series?
It's still an unknown.
It's still a little bit different. What is that?
We weren't totally aware of what web series were when we started. We just were like, oh, we'll make a show, and we'll put it online. It was just kind of that simple. And as I started to research it, I found these festivals like LA Web Fest, Melbourne Fest. We found that there was already a community of people that were doing this.
Having discovered web series, seeing what other people were doing, it just became more and more clear to me that that was the right format for me to work in.
The great thing about web series is that anybody can make them. You have less people saying, no, you can't do that.
Give me that. Dad shoves his hand down his daughter's throat, yanks out her heart, throws the beating heart at his fleeing daughter. Grenade-like, the heart explodes, killing her. Are you serious?
It's a good film school, basically, making content and putting it online and learning all aspects of TV and filmmaking. It's a great way to sort of build up your skill base.
Why did I agree to this?
I am on the side of the artist, and I'm on the side of people expressing themselves, which is why I love web series. Because anybody can pick up a camera, start filming, start editing.
Everyone really has the power. If you have a couple of $1,000s, you have the power to make, to capture the audience.
For about 100 years, the ability to make films has really only been in the hands of very select number of people that have a lot of money. And that's not true anymore.
We've got YouTube, that's our distribution. We can shoot it ourselves. Yeah, let's do that.
How is everything anyway, Ricky T? Oh, yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just glad to be out. You know how it is, glad to be out.
Out of where?
Who the fuck is this pasty-ass, nerdy-looking motherfucker?
So why do people make web series? Well, I guess that's a mystery nobody knows. That and the Loch Ness Monster.
I came up with the first web series as a way to tell a story in a way that I could do it without kind of asking permission and having to go and pitch a television series or a movie, but actually just go up and put something online and let people react to it.
It really came out of just wanting to tell stories and to work and not play, guy on subway, man at diner, but to play substantial roles and tell really interesting stories that are interesting to me.
Keep making the world safe for your friends, but indulge your secret identity once in a while. I mean, opportunities sneak up on us all the time.
I put out the series initially because I wanted to see someone that was representative of me, but I didn't realize how many people felt the same way that I did.
I've already said hi to this woman. What other interaction could we possibly have?
It's a really nice day. Woo.
Are you following me?
No. I didn't set out to be this champion for diversity, even though that I am, or the face of it, but I see that it's opening people's minds and changing the expectations of content consumers. Oh my God, you're awkward.
I know.
I get you.
Lo hicimos por el fácil acceso que nos daba el Internet. Nos daba una ventana a muchos espectadores rápidamente. Cuando, pues hoy en día cada vez es más difícil hacer cine o televisión, el Internet está ahí, está fácil, lo podemos accesar.
I made Clutch because I had a story that I wanted to tell, and I wasn't done with that story. I had started telling it in a short film called The Rex Lover is Dead, and it wasn't satisfying enough. With a short film, once you've told your story, you're done. However, with a web series, you can continue to explore the characters and see where it goes, and it stays with you a lot longer. It's a lot more like doing theater, where you build a family of people and you keep working with them for years. And the people on Clutch have become my dearest friends and family. You don't get that on a short-term film project. So I think the nature of making a web series is very attractive, as well as the results of the story.
Don't you want to sample the goods first?
Sometimes actors don't always get the work they want, so they can either continue waitressing for the rest of their lives, or they can make their own web series. Geez, 5 minutes ago I ordered that. You go. Yeah. Not gonna make it.
I made a web series because I was tired of being the guy that was sitting around waiting for my phone to ring. it was really important for me, both as an actor and somebody who'd really always wanted to create my own content, to just kind of finally get off my ass and start doing something that would benefit not only myself, but the group of people that I had around me.
Frankly, my producing partner and I, John Yelvington, wrote this show because we wanted to perform and create. And it's a cliche, but here in Los Angeles and probably elsewhere, you need to create your own work. So we set out to create this show about Carol Ann McCracken, and we wrote the pilot script initially for the purpose of pitching it to television.
They've never done anything like this on TV.
Ready when you are, ladies.
And we shot an 8.5-minute teaser presentation. Well, people saw that, and they loved it. High quality, good production value, and they said, why don't you turn this into a web series, which we had never thought of or considered. So we thought, it's a great idea. We'll increase our audience base, web awareness, and use all that information when we then go to pitch it to television.
I think there's so many other filmmakers out there that have all these ideas and stories that they want to tell and they want to share with people everywhere. And the internet has made that a possibility.
I had started with an idea of this is a great tale, trying to bring it to a network. I don't even know how to go about that, but I did know that the web is a bit easier.
At first, actually, we started and we just thought, okay, this is we're going to make a pilot. We're going to try and sell this show about hipsters living in Brooklyn.
Hip or dangerous?
Dangerous.
Hip or dangerous?
Hip. But what happened is we ended up writing the show, casting the show. We just loved the cast that we put together, and we loved what we came out with, and we just wanted to keep doing it.
Bands have been doing the DIY thing for years now.
Action.
And it's been a really great success for a lot of bands.
You know, you don't need to be a studio with multi-million dollars of backing to get something that's creative and profound made.
Why am I made of things?
The great thing about making web series, as opposed to any other medium, film, television, is that you have complete control over your content as an independent filmmaker.
Just having that freedom, that artistic freedom, was really the most important thing to me, being a part of this web series.
I decided that this was going to be my medium. This is how I was going to get my work out there. This is how I was going to write and produce content and just cater to my own audience that I built, as opposed to trying to reach out to television and film execs.
The huge advantage, I think, is that you have complete creative control over whatever content that you're producing, and ultimately you have final say over anything that goes online. Whether or not you decide to even put it online is completely up to you.
Most of my friends say that I'm way out of your league.
See, no, that you can't say that, because I'm a good person and you're a bad person. They're different leagues. You may be very good looking, but you're a shitty person.
I'm incredibly
But you're a shitty person.
Initially, it was going to be a trailer for a pitch to be a TV show. And while we were making the trailer, I just decided to stop, kind of retool, regroup, and decided that I actually didn't want the show to live and die on whether it got greenlit by someone else. And so decided to just make it myself, and that's why it became a web series.
It's very hard to make it in Hollywood. Talent is only part of it. You really got to go out and make your own opportunities.
You know, you can spend 10 years working your way up in Hollywood, and you still might not get your own TV show. So what I thought I would do is just make it myself.
The reason why I wanted to do web series, we wanted to have control of our content, we wanted to have control of our marketing, and we wanted to pretty much figure out how we can make the process faster and do the things we wanted to do.
I think most people make web series because they want to express themselves. Even if you work in Hollywood, I work in Hollywood, but I can't always say what I want to say. And so if you want to say what you want to say, you got to make your independent film, make your short, do your play, make your web series to get your voice out.
Actors are pawns in the filmmaking game, but they are very important, unlike pawns. Let's find out what they think about web series.
I think things had to change, and I think it's been interesting the way, because I'm sort of used to doing, stuff that is heavily unionized, and it's very hard for new people to get in, very hard for young people to get in. You can't just walk in the door. You got to so I think there was room for this in the industry, and certainly there was room for this, I think, just in the world of entertainment.
looks pretty age appropriate to me.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
I know you're not as physically attractive as your brother. It's exciting, and I know this is like huge in the wave of the future, so I'm thrilled to be a part of this. I just find incredibly desirable.
Web series are also great because you get to meet loads of new people, new actors and people, and all are creative, and that's obviously brilliant.
A web series is just such a unique and vibrant voice in the cinema world and TV world today, and so making a web series is almost revolutionary for me.
I'm an actor. This is just at weekends.
It's actually run very extremely professionally. It's just more compact. A lot of care is taken to craft a great show.
I'm thrilled to say that every single person I've worked with in the last 48 hours on Divinity has loved their job and been at least as good at theirs as I think I am at mine. I'm a good actor. These people are sensational. You were the result of a bad decision made after a very long day and too much scotch.
Did my mother feel the same way?
I didn't ask her. She was too busy bent over my desk.
Classless.
I took on an acting role in a web series for a number of reasons. I think you guys can see that it's profound in its simplicity and transformative in its application. I love the fact that technology has democratized the medium and leveled the playing field for many talented filmmakers so they can tell their stories more economically. And the web series model allows us to distribute our product widely at minimal cost.
So taking, the reins into your own hands and going out there and producing your own material gives you a great sense of satisfaction.
Sorry, folks, we're going to have to cut today's episode short, but please join us anytime here at the Big Dick Mike Show.
I was approached quite a lot about doing web series, and I was never really wanted, just because it was too daunting. I didn't know what it was. It scared me, the idea of a web series. I kind of thought, do I have to get naked? Is it like, is this dark room?
So Brooklyn is in Love was basically the story about three friends living in Brooklyn, and at the time a lot of my friends were going through struggles very similar to mine, trying to make it and just really struggling, and then at the same time trying to find love, trying to find something to make to fulfill their dreams, to fulfill their hearts.
When it comes to you, there's always a reason.
All right, I get kicked out of my apartment.
That's why I wanted to produce a series called Brooklyn is Love, showing them that a lot of people are going through the same struggles as these characters that we've put on screen.
One of the most popular web series on the internet is Lisa Kudrow's Web Therapy, which just goes to show that even friends are making their own web series.
I'm Nathan Adler. I'm a talent agent.
Why did I make a web series? Well, it was a combination of things. Getting to a certain age as an actor, combined with really wanting to tell stories that I wanted to tell that I really thought hadn't been told.
I've done really well. I'm negative, I'm healthy, plus I had my day in the sun.
No nos gusta ver la producción de una serie web como algo muy diferente a lo que sería con una película o con un show de televisión, porque nosotros lo vemos como algo que requiere el mismo esfuerzo, requiere la misma atención, le metemos el mismo cuidado.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Project Chimera.
Tratamos de hacer que todo esté lo más pulido posible. Entonces, yo creo que si en algún momento hiciéramos una serie de televisión o una película, lo iríamos con el mismo cuidado que como hacemos esto.
And it's a great skill. Telling a story in a short period of time is a great, great skill.
It was, hey, let's just do it.
Am I now a terrorist?
Badass, Alice.
Not every day one goes down the rabbit hole.
I'm Phil Cook, creator of Malice. Thanks for watching Inside Web Series.
Thanks for watching Inside Web Series. On our next episode, we look at web series pre-production. Don't miss it. I'm David M. Green, and you can be too.